The book of Job, chapter 11, King James. Then answered Zophar the Naamathite, and said, Should not the multitude of words be answered? And should a man full of talk be justified? Should thy lies make men hold their peace? And when thou mockest, shall no man make thee ashamed? For thou hast said, My doctrine is pure, and I am clean in thine eyes. But O that God would speak, and open his lips against thee, and that he would shew thee the secrets of wisdom, that they are double to that which is. Know therefore that God exacteth of thee less than thine iniquity deserveth. Canst thou by searching find out God? Canst thou find out the Almighty unto perfection? It is as high as heaven, what canst thou do? Deeper than hell, what canst thou know? The measure thereof is longer than the earth, and broader than the sea. If he cut off, and shut up, or gather together, then who can hinder him? For he knoweth vain men, he seeth wickedness also. Will he not then consider it? For vain man would be wise, though man be born like a wild ass's colt. If thou prepare thine heart, and stretch out thine hands toward him. If iniquity be in thine hand, put it far away, and let not wickedness dwell in thy tabernacles. For then shalt thou lift up thy face without spot, yea, thou shalt be steadfast, and shalt not fear. Because thou shalt forget thy misery, and remember it as waters that pass away. And thine age shall be clearer than the noonday. Thou shalt shine forth, thou shalt be as the morning. And thou shalt be secure because there is hope. Yea, thou shalt dig about thee, and thou shalt take thy rest in safety. Also thou shalt lie down, and none shall make thee afraid. Yea, many shall make suit unto thee. But the eyes of the wicked shall fail, and they shall not escape, and their hope shall be as the giving up of the ghost. Commentary and main themes. Job chapter 11 introduces the third friend, Zophar the Naamathite, and his words are the most direct and severe so far. Where Eliphaz was measured and Bildad was rigid, Zophar is blunt and confrontational. He begins by accusing Job of speaking too much and suggests that Job's words are empty and even dishonest. This is a sharp escalation. Zophar assumes not only that Job is wrong, but that he is hiding sin behind his words. Zophar then makes a bold claim. If God were to speak, he would expose Job's guilt, and even show that Job deserves worse than what he is experiencing. This is a serious misjudgment. The reader already knows that Job's suffering is not punishment for hidden sin, but Zophar speaks as if he fully understands God's reasoning. At the same time, Zophar does speak truth about God's greatness. He emphasizes that God's wisdom is beyond human understanding, higher than heaven, deeper than the grave, broader than the earth. This is accurate. God's ways are far above human reasoning. But once again, truth is misapplied. Zophar assumes that because God is just and all-knowing, Job must be guilty. He calls Job to repentance, urging him to put away iniquity. He even describes the blessings that would follow: peace, security, restored joy, if Job would simply turn from sin. The problem is not the call to repentance itself. That is always right when sin is present. The problem is the assumption that Job's suffering is proof of sin. Zophar speaks confidently, but without full understanding. This chapter highlights a recurring danger, speaking truth about God while wrongly judging another person's situation. Main themes: the escalation of harsh and misguided counsel, the greatness and incomprehensibility of God, the danger of assuming guilt without evidence, the misuse of truth when applied without discernment, the contrast between human certainty and divine wisdom. Job chapter 11 reminds us that zeal without understanding can wound deeply. Zophar defends God's justice, but fails to reflect God's compassion. Truth must be handled carefully, with humility and mercy. Memory verse: Canst thou by searching find out God? Canst thou find out the Almighty unto perfection? Job 11 verse 7, King James.